Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. What is up, my beautiful people? It's your girl Rosabelle, and welcome. For those of you who are new here, hit that subscribe button, the follow, the like, the share, wherever you see this, wherever you're listening to this. And welcome. Welcome to my mind. Welcome to my feelings. Welcome to my space. I'm in my element. I'm in a space where I like to kick my shoes off and put my feet up, put my robe on, take my pants off, because pants are dumb, and just kick back, relax. I want to unwind from my day, unfold, and unplug.
Oh, Lord, it ain't even Monday yet.
It sure ain't Monday, but it will be by the time everybody hears this recording.
Oh, shit.
Check, check, check. We in the building. It's your girl Rosabelle, and welcome the fuck back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Hello. Hello. What are we talking about today, love?
We talking about love, honey. Love as it relates to ourselves. We are talking about self-love because it's January and it's self-love month.
Good transition into Valentine's Day, too.
It is, yeah. Lover, boy. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Black History Month is right around the corner. Like, life is moving.
Here we come.
It is. We coming. Choo choo. And it's a leap year. We get extra days in February this year.
You ever seen that meme that's like, we 6 months into the year and it's still January?
Yeah, that's how it feels. Yep.
January just takes forever. But I swear, once we get into like March, April, the year is just like, whew.
They don't want us to be great. Living in Ohio, they don't want us to have no sunshine, honey. When the sunshine months come, they blow by.
Yeah.
When it's wintertime, we stuck in here for life. Feel like I'm not in Kansas anymore. Toto?
So, grab your blankies and let's go.
So what is self-love? I know we're talking about it, but what is it? What does it mean?
Self-love. The way that you love yourself. How do you show yourself love?
I show myself love by talking nice to myself. I was going to say talking pretty to myself, but talking nice to myself in the morning.
I like talking pretty better. Okay. Positive words of affirmation. I like it.
Positive words of affirmation. Telling myself, the day is almost over. We're going to be home before we know it. When we wake up in the morning and it's time to go to work and I'll be tired, I look myself in the eye in the mirror and I say, we're going to have a good day. It'll be over soon.
It is going to be a good day. You know what, though? I don't know that I ever woke up in the morning and actually felt refreshed.
What?
I wake up in the morning every damn morning like, oh, fuck.
No.
I just like to go back to sleep.
Some self-care.
I need some sleep.
That's self-care.
I need some sleep. But I don't never be like, oh, well, I don't want to go to work or I don't want to go do my stuff. It's more like I just want to sleep and then do my stuff.
That's how working out been getting me in the evenings lately. Right now I'm out of commission because my ankle was a little bum, but when I was out of commission in the past, for sure, it was like, oh, I'm too tired to do this. But the mindset, the mind is very powerful when we're talking about self-love, and doing things for ourselves. It's only how we think.
Perspective. Perspective. I love it. That's something we talk about a lot, just generally, right? Because the way that you think about things, the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you view a situation, it does change the way that you act, the way that you feel, for sure. So
it does, and it will consume you if you let it. That's why words of affirmation in the morning for me is so important. I think I learned maybe, I don't know, we've been married and together for a while now, but I want to say maybe the first couple years into our relationship, somewhere around 2018, I was taking this class of people, and one of the big things that they just kept talking about is like self-love, self-affirmations, 30-second mirror speeches, and the power of the mind. It was just a huge emphasis on the power of the mind and doing things for self. One of the exercises in here was to just come up with a 30-second mirror speech where you're actually looking at yourself. It's real key to look yourself in the eye, to make it just more personal. And you do that 30-second mirror speech, and you do it every day. And towards the end, I think it was like 21 days or something, because they say it takes 21 days to create a new habit. But of course, sustaining after that is a big thing. But after the 21 days, we kind of came back and we regrouped and kind of talked about what changed. How did we feel after saying that, the first day versus the 21st day? And kind of how we use our mind to manifest and shape into what we want.
Perspective is everything, truly and honestly. Like, if you have something coming up that you don't want to do, saying, that you don't want to do it, or, whatever, it's not going to work out. But, going into it, trying to find at least one or two good things that you can pick out of it is always going to make it a little bit better. It's always going to change, like, the way that you think about things. I mean, again, this is things that I talk about with my clients all the time. Like, I work with people who are in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And from an outside perspective, you'd think, what can you get out of jail? But the truth is, my clients can find a lot that they can get out of jail. They can get learning experiences out of jail. It's probably the only place they're ever going to have free health care, free mental health care, free dental care. Like, they build relationships with deputies. They build relationships with other people who are on their pods. All of that kind of thing, They get a lot of things out of jail that I think that you don't know unless you're there.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair statement. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you have no idea what it's like until you're there. But when you're there and you first get there, it's a culture shock.
Okay.
But it is like it's all about perspective, and that's what we talk about with our clients. Is I'm not here to fix your problems. I'm here to change the way you think about them.
Okay, I like that. I like how you changed. You were definitely changing that perspective on kind of maybe people's misconceptions about what you're here to do. Mm-hmm. And just changing the perspective on them coming into the jail in general. You're going to get more out of it than you came in with it.
For sure.
And I love that. So I want to talk about self-love in the form of like self-love and other people, right? I feel like the way that you feel about yourself or the way that you love yourself really trickles into friendships and relationships as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I can get into that. Yeah.
So I guess I wanted to talk about some of the ways that like self-love and boundaries. Mm-hmm. How does self-love affect the boundaries that you set?
Oh, do you know what? I absolutely love this for both friend relationships, but also relationships with significant others. So not to bring it back to work, because that's literally the only thing I do. So I was actually just speaking with a client about this. He was having some intermarriage issues. I'm not going to go into it, of course, but having concerns that his partner was cheating on him and this, that, and the other. And he asked me, like, what is the policy in my relationship? Most of my clients know I'm married because I'm wearing a ring, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, what is the policy in my relationship as far as like cheating goes? And I said, well, my partner can do whatever she wants to do, literally whatever she wants to do, but good or bad, there will be consequences. So if you do a good thing, it'll probably be a good consequence. You've never done a bad thing, but if you did, there would be a consequence. And I'm not going to try to restrain you from doing either way. You know what I mean? So I think that speaks to me as a person, because I don't think that other people feel the way that I feel about that. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like in our relationship, that's kind of how it goes. But when I talk to other people about it, they're like, oh, your partner can do whatever they want. But truthfully, their partners can too, right? It's just their perspective. It's just the way that they think about it. Their partner really can go out and do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. There just will probably be good and bad consequences. I just framed it different. I just spoke about it in a different way, mm-hmm. And I think that he really took that to heart, and it kind of changed the way he thought about his relationship, and it let go of some of the control.
Oh, nice.
Do you know what I mean? Yep. Like, he no longer felt like if my partner goes out and cheats, that's my responsibility.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, mm-hmm. He's in jail. What is he going to do?
It's fair.
Do you know what I mean? How is he even going to know about it if no one tells him? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's perspective in a nutshell. And that can be said for all friends and all family relationships, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, you're not always going to like the things that your friends and family does, but you have to have a perspective of like, well, they have autonomy. They're adults. They're humans. They can do what they want. They can make mistakes. And you respond accordingly. You can't try to control what they're going to do. You have to just respond accordingly. If they do something that, you know, is maybe not your favorite, respond as appropriate in your opinion. You know, do you think that this is something that we need to end the family relationship or the friendship for, or is this something that we can talk through, or, you know, whatever it may be? Okay. You know, vaguely speaking, of course. Of course. But I mean, the perspective is there, right? It is. Even though most people probably don't go into relationships thinking that way, that is the logical truth of it. People can do whatever they want. But having a good perspective about it kind of lets you out of responsibility for what other people do. And I really like that, because I think that leads right back into self-love, right? It gives you the ability to say to yourself, like, I am still good enough. I am still smart enough, or you know, good looking enough, or whatever it is that you would have been thinking otherwise. You know, I did not deserve to be treated like that, cheated on, whatever the case may be. It goes right back into self-love. It goes right back into, how do you care for yourself? The way that you speak to yourself, like you were saying before. You know, how many people do you know who've been cheated on, or had a friendship breakup or whatever, and they're like, well, what did I do wrong?
All the time. Right. I mean, because that's kind of, I feel like when that happens, you kind of really go back to that self-reflection. It's like, what did I do wrong? How could I have done this better? Did I do this? Did I do that? Yeah, you definitely go down into a spiral. If you let yourself.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the way that I try to teach self-love, both for myself, but also in my clients. Another way that we do self-love a lot is through gratitude journaling. Okay. Which I know gratitude journaling can be done like a bunch of different ways. I do it a little bit differently because I do crisis work with people. So a lot of times I'm meeting with client 1, maybe 2 times for the duration of their incarceration. So the way that I have people do it is I say, you know, 2 times a day, I need you to write down something that you're grateful for. And you do that for as long as you possibly can. If you get bored and you got nothing to do, write down a 3rd or 4th or 5th thing that day. The trick is you can never ever repeat.
Oh, okay. So you can't repeat something from yesterday.
Right. From ever.
So like today is like, I am grateful for my son. I can't say that tomorrow. I'm grateful for my son. I have to find somebody else. Not somebody, but something else that I'm grateful for.
It forces you to not only find other things, but also to be more specific, right? Yep. So like, for example, when I explain it to my clients, if they have kids, for an example, I'll say, you know, I would not advise that you say that you're grateful for your son. I'll say something like, I'm grateful for my kid's cute little cheeks, or the way that his toes wiggle, or, you know, the way he says, I love you, mommy, or something like that.
I'm grateful for my kid being patient with me.
Right. Because if you say, like, I'm grateful for my son, you're going to run out of things to be grateful for real fast, you know? So I tell my clients straight up, like, be more specific. And then over time, it gets harder and harder to do, obviously, right? But like you were saying, after 21 days, the brain makes a new habit. So over time, when you're doing it all the time and you're thinking about it all the time, your brain will start to look for things to be grateful for in your day. Yep. And that's how it's supposed to work. Yes. It's supposed to make you start looking at the world. And I'll have people say to me, you know, at the beginning, they'll say like, oh, I didn't have anything to be grateful for, or whatever. And then by the end, they're like, oh, well, you know, I was grateful because my bunkie gave me some toilet paper.
Yeah, right.
Something that you wouldn't think is even important, but they found something to be grateful for. You know, they did the assignment. They figured it out. That's perspective right there. That's self-love. That's teaching you to be grateful for whatever is around you. Whatever is around you. Even in some of the worst places that you can imagine.
So what are some of the ways that you love yourself?
I spend time with my son. Okay. You know, as crazy as it seems, I really do love some time just like in my office. You know, just like...
That don't sound crazy.
You know, like just kind of like combing through my files, making sure I'm helping everybody the way that I'm supposed to, and doing the things that I need to be doing. I like to just go and do stuff, you know, and not having like the time crunch that I'm typically under.
Okay. Right. So you like to just be kind of
thorough
free
with my work.
and okay, free and thorough. I like that.
Mm-hmm. I like to be able to just have the time to make sure that I'm doing a good job, not just the job. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always doing the job, but
Right.
I'm not always doing the best job because of, you know,
other factors.
You know, mental health is a convoluted field.
For sure.
So,
do you believe that self-love and self-care are related?
oh, of course.
Okay.
Right? How can you love yourself if you are not taking time for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't pour from an empty glass. You got to fill your glass up. How do you do it? Self-love, self-care, right? That's how you fill up the glass. So, I mean, self-care I think could be literally anything that you love, right? Like I just mentioned, you know, hanging out with the kiddo. But it could be, you know, doing the podcast together, just being able to sit down here together, me and you, and hang out. You know, going out to eat every now and again, or, you know, oh my gosh, taking taking Mason to the bookstore.
Oh my goodness, he's been asking to go lately too. So it's about that time.
We'll have to go soon. We'll have to go. He loves it there. You know, those kinds of things. Even just like conversations with friends. Like I talk to my mom every day. That's a good way to practice self-care, self-love, you know.
That's how it is for me too. Like today I just met up with a friend, you know, just to kind of relax, talk a little bit. We haven't had the chance to talk in a while. Kind of decompress. It's always very helpful when you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And renew.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. That's definitely a form of renewal for me. You know, we sit, we listen to music, we talk about things. Sometimes we may meditate. Sometimes we may cook. Sometimes we may play games. You know, it's always a good time, and that's definitely a lot of forms of self love for me. Mm-hmm. When the weather gets better, I love being outside too. Outside gives me just the biggest gratification, man.
So this is how we're opposites.
I know. I just love being outside. I hate bugs though. Don't get me wrong. I don't like bees. I don't like bugs. I don't want beetles. I don't want them touching me. But I mean, you know, if I need to wear long sleeves and long pants to go sit outside in the grass, I'm gonna do that because I want to be outside. Meanwhile, it's getting better over time for me.
Meanwhile, I just want my air conditioning.
I didn't say it had to be hot.
I don't care what the temperature is. If it's not inside, then it's not the right temperature.
I don't know, I like putting my hands into things. Like I like photography. You know, I like decorating sets, especially if I'm in a period where I'm feeling a little bit low. That's one of the ways I like to be creative.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like pouring my love into something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a person. Cooking, sometimes juicing. Mm-hmm. It's something I like to do. You know, getting my stuff together, cutting up my fruit. And I mean, sometimes that really just brings me that moment of peace and like self-care that I need. So
yeah, some little alone activities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, okay. I will lay in that bed and I will play games on my phone and I will watch videos on like Netflix or YouTube or whatever for hours. Mm-hmm. And that's self-care for me. I just want to just leave me alone. You know, reflect on what's going on in the world, but also distract from, you know, just get away from it. I think that's a good way for me to, mm-hmm. you know, separate myself, which you need sometimes.
Absolutely, yeah. You need that time to separate yourself, turn your brain off. You know, you don't always want to carry. I mean, you carry more things with you than you think sometimes. Mm-hmm. And when you have that moment or that space, that I call it like that zen, mm-hmm. you really start to kind of shed and unpack some of those things sometimes. And you don't gotta like discuss it with nobody or dwell on it. You know, sometimes you just need that moment to just recharge. Mm-hmm. And that recharges you and it kind of just cleanses all of that out. So that's amazing that you can find that time, just in time solitude.
Yeah.
For yourself.
You know, when I used to teach that class for sobriety, mm-hmm. When we did the group on, I think the emotions group, I can't remember. I used to put on the board all the time, you make bad decisions when you're home. And this is the thing, I learned it from Coleman. But my group said that they also teach it in like AA and NA, which I didn't know. A lot of times my clients are smarter than me, but that's fine. But HALT it stands for hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Okay. So we make bad decisions when we're hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, which I think, that makes sense. And one of my clients, which bless her, she once linked that back to like The Sims. If anybody's ever played The Sims, how your clients, like your little Sims needs will be on a bar, and when it gets low it turns red. Mm-hmm. She's like, any of those bars, if they start to turn red, then she feels like she's likely to make bad decisions.
That's fair.
And I was like, that is like the perfect metaphor. If you have a person in your life who like plays The Sims and they understand that metaphor, that's like a great way to put it through. But really and honestly, if you're hungry, if you're tired, if your fun is low, if your social is low, whatever, you are likely to not think through your decisions as well as you would have. And now, of course, that can have consequences on you, but it also has consequences on the people around you, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to be testy. You're not going to be the most caring and tender to the relationships of the people that you care for the most. You might snap a little. You might be a little sassier than usual.
You might underperform at work.
For sure, right?
That's big too.
You might drop the ball sometimes. You might lose a task or two if you're overworked and you're not, paying attention to your own needs. Mm-hmm. So I think it's really important. Make sure you're getting the sleep that you need. Make sure you're eating decent enough that you're, able to perform, that you are getting the exercise that's normal for your lifestyle, you're socializing as needed, getting in at least something fun every day, even if that's just like, giving somebody a hug or whatever. Whatever works.
Laying down with your pillow mountain.
Oh my God. Don't tell people about my pillow mountain.
See, you didn't even have to tell them. I wasn't even talking about you. Other people have pillow mountains too.
It's so nice.
Wherever you find comfort, right, is what you do. Is where it's at.
Right. So, this is technically self-love month, but because we are transitioning now into February, it goes directly into how you treat other people, and especially the people who are the closest to you, your significant other, your direct family, your close co-workers, etc. How do you love yourself? It will also translate in how do you love other people. Mm-hmm. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all.
No, yeah, it is. You know what? I'm sitting up here, I'm like, damn, it's almost February. Okay, that's cool. And I'm like, what that got to do with self-love? But fucking Valentine's Day. Wow. Yeah. Yep, I had a little bit of a slow moment there.
It's okay. I got you. If you take care of yourself, you'll take care of others.
We will, for sure. Yeah. I encourage you guys to say something nice to somebody this week. Mm-hmm. Whether it's just, hey, you're doing a great job today. Hey, I noticed that you did this. I noticed that you helped out with this. I appreciate you. Tell somebody you appreciate them. Tell somebody that they're doing a great job. Mm-hmm. Tell somebody their hair looks great today. Tell somebody you like that outfit combo. Honey, them colors is popping. Your nails look good. Your skin is glowing. Compliment a brother or a sister this week, okay? Because we all deserve it. We sometimes we need those affirmations as alongside with our self-affirmation. Sometimes we need those affirming words from other people. Mm-hmm. We may not necessarily ask for them, but check the mood once you give it to them. Mm-hmm. And see how they feel. Mm-hmm. They may smile more when they see you, or they may be happier when they're doing that task. If you're telling them you're doing a great job doing this, it really all counts.
Yeah. Or even just a quick, checking in. Hey, mm-hmm. How are you doing? If you need anything, let me know. You got this.
You'd be surprised at how much that makes somebody's day. So you're like, dang, they just asked me how I was doing.
Every single time.
I'm not Barney. Okay.
Every single time I leave a unit, I say to the people on the unit, all right, if you guys need anything, let me know. You guys are doing great. And I head out, But I do that very purposefully and intentionally because I want the other people in the environment to also have a positive mindset. Mm-hmm. Or if I notice that somebody's maybe having a particularly hard day, that I will usually say something. You know, like, hey,
That's
do
sweet.
you need to go sit down and have a little chat, or do you need anything? This is why I keep my office full of candy. You need a Reese's Pieces.
They love it.
You need a candy cane. I got candy canes. I still got candy canes, y'all.
You know, it's never a bad day for a candy cane. It's never a bad day for a mint. You know, sometimes your breath may be stinking, but also you need a little pick me up.
Oh no, for me it's a pick me up. Literally all day I'm eating mints, I'm eating gum.
I ain't talking about your breath.
No, but I'm still like I can't. I'll fall asleep.
That's very true. I have gum at my desk for the same reason, especially on them days where it's like, you know, that 2:00 hour still get me every day.
Does it
at
really?
This big age.
Oh, I'm still ripping and running at 2:00.
Up all day long. I could be as good and as chipper, but when that 2:00 hour come, honey, if I'm not already doing something or I don't already have that momentum, it's like, and it's not even due to lunch or nothing. It's just that time of the day always made me feel like, okay, I'm ready to go. Family nap time. For at least an hour, hour and a half. Even if I don't go to sleep, I just want to relax. Time to stop. Time to relax. That's what I want to do.
Man, sometimes I feel like, even when I'm not, running around and doing stuff, I'm just like, every time I look at the clock, I'm like, oh my God, it's already whatever o'clock. I gotta get all these things done still. I said I was going to do this and that and the other thing. And it's just 8 hours is not enough time.
It's not. Just wait. National Unplug Day is almost a month away. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that because I think I'm going to participate this year in Unplug. Not only just like on my phone, because I know I'm going to be at work and that's cool. But just unplug from other things. So I appreciate you sitting with me for this episode. Self-love is very important. Don't forget to love yourself this week and beyond because you are important. You are worthy. Don't forget that you will always be worthy. Don't let anybody tell you that you ain't worthy because you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Love you. Bye.